Today on the Visioneers, we'll join a team rejuvenating Florida's barrier reef.
Let's dive in, as they say.
We'll work to rehabilitate oyster populations in Mississippi.
Well, I do enjoy how impactful it is for the environment.
And we'll study hurricane conditions inside a San Diego lab.
We're approaching 90 miles per hour.
90 miles an hour, there's a hurricane going on outside.
I'm Zay Harding. Join me on a mission of discovery.
That is incredible.
To meet the dreamers who are building a future that protects our planet and each other. Welcome to the Visioneers. Did you know that in our oceans, there are underwater structures made up of tiny little animals called coral polyps? These coral polyps create this living structure called coral reefs, which provide food and shelter for 25% of all ocean creatures. Coral reefs are the rainforests of the sea, teeming with life and color. But they're vanishing under the pressure of rising sea temperatures, ocean acidification, and pollution. Up to 90% of coral reefs worldwide are at risk. Here at Nova Southeastern University in Florida, Dr. Joanna Figueiredo and her team are on a mission to help these vibrant ecosystems stage a comeback.
Oh, look at this light.
Yes, so this is where our corals are. So this is the adult corals.
What are you actually doing in these tubs?
What we're trying to do is to reproduce them so we then can put their babies on the reef to recover our coral reefs.
And how old are these coral here?
They're probably at least 15 to 20 years old. Corals grow really slowly, and if they experience stress, and this can be warmer temperatures, sedimentation on top of them, heavy metals, pollution, all of these things unfortunately kill them, then it will take a long time to get corals to build reefs again.
The team literally plants the lab-grown baby corals onto the ocean floor.
That alone will not be enough. We have to stop climate from changing, by reducing our carbon emissions. But in the process, we're learning how we can reproduce this coral, and that's so that other regions of the world can do it too.
So what goes on in here? This looks like a sci-fi laboratory. Why is it blue?
So the lights are programmed to mimic the sunlight and the moonlight.
Okay.
And that allows the corals to reproduce.
This is a combination of sunlight and moonlight
Yes.
put together. I want this in my life always, everywhere I go. It's just
Yes.
so pretty. Corals may seem like plants, but they're actually animals. They look like miniature sea anemones. They slowly build up the stony structure they live on over time.
So you can see the little tentacles around their mouth. They have all these each of these little round things.
There's a mouth?
We feed them every day. They're
Each
voracious
of these
eaters.
round little things are
It's a mouth.
mouths.
They have a mouth, and they have tentacles, and with those tentacles, they capture the food.
Each colony can contain hundreds or even thousands of individual coral polyps, and they reproduce in two different ways.
So they make copies of themselves, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. But they also reproduce all together once a year, a few days. Usually this species 8 to 9 days after the full moon of July. They all go and release, and then they make their babies, and then we can grow them. So now we have their babies, just a few months old, upstairs in the lab. So come on.
This is so exciting. I've never seen a coral that's only a couple months old before. Why do you separate the babies from the rest?
Well, they are much more sensitive, so they have to have their special conditions. You'll see some of the babies that were born this last summer.
Wow, these are so cute. These are just a
All our
couple
little
months
babies.
old.
Yes, just a few months old. Those little brown dots you see in the center, each of them is a little coral, but just a few months old. We have the nursery here for all the corals, of all the babies from the parents that are downstairs, yeah.
These ones will live in this tub for how long?
They usually stay here for 3 or 4 months. Then we move them outdoors where they stay until they're 1 year old. And then after that, they go and out on a reef.
They're so little. How do you even see them?
Let's see them under the scope so you can really see their mouth and their tentacles and all their fluorescent colors.
This is an image of what she's looking at through the microscope.
Exactly. So you see there are 2 baby corals, and this is their mouth And this is the tentacles around the mouth. And you can see all this fluorescent color, this pigment that they have.
Look at that bright green and bright
Yes,
orange.
they're super
and
healthy.
bright pink.
Yeah, they're healthy. And the baby
This
toddler.
little baby.
This one is the perfect size to take out on a reef. And we're actually planning on going out today to put some corals out.
Oh,
Would you like to go?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Hello.
So-
Is the sky blue, as my daughter would say? Yes. Coming up, I can't wait to get this coral back home. We'll get hands-on with our reef rehabilitation. Let's dive in. And later,
We have a number of issues that are causing our oyster populations to decline.
you had a vision that this was important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes you a visioneer. I just want to shake your hand. Stay tuned. The Visioneers will be right back. Welcome back. At Nova Southeastern University in Florida, I've just checked out a lab where baby coral are born and raised. And now I'll help graduate some young brain corals to a special offshore nursery.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Come
to meet
around
you,
over
too.
here. So yeah, we have a group of corals. They've been growing for a couple years now here on their land-based nursery. We have two different species here. And they're both what we call these brain type of corals. In their full growth form, they actually look like a human brain.
And if they do well, then you set them free on their own?
Yes, as they're there for a period of time, we'll monitor and then make sure they're doing well. And then if we're happy with their, growth and productivity, then we'll take them out and plant them on the reef.
Morgan and I transfer the corals into the coolers and then onto the boat that'll take us out to the nursery. These corals will grow there for a year before they're planted on Florida's Great Barrier Reef.
This whole coastline, this stretch of coastline that we're on right now, so that's a barrier reef that adds significant benefits in terms of coastal protection to all of these coastal communities, because we have millions of people living along this coastline.
But how exactly does a coral reef protect the coastal land?
The physical structure itself reduces wave energy.
Okay,
so you think about
it calms it before
exactly,
it hits the
exactly,
land.
yeah. So it acts as somewhat of a barrier, like a break wall.
After riding about 20 miles, we arrived at the coral nursery.
All right, let's dive in, as they say.
The team is growing 17 species of coral in this nursery on over 100 structures. We took the coral down to the nursery platforms. We carefully placed each one, and then we zip-tied the corals in place so they wouldn't move in the current. We methodically cataloged, labeled, and photographed the corals. During their time here, they'll be monitored for diseases and temperature stress. The team will also track each coral's growth. And finally, we covered the corals to protect them from predators. Afterwards, we swam over to check out a coral tree. The team uses this particular structure to grow a species called staghorn coral. After a year of watching them grow, the team will move these coral out of this nursery and plant them out on the wild barrier reef. Dr. Figueiredo and her team have successfully planted hundreds of corals, and what they've learned along the way will guide the next generation of Visioneers who are fighting to save Earth's coral reefs. Coming up, a small crustacean with a huge impact.
Once they're all grown up, I put them back into the ocean.
And later, an indoor ocean controlled by a computer.
Want to push the button?
Want to push the button? All right.
Stay tuned. The Visioneers will be right back.
Did you know that oysters are vital to the health of our oceans and their surrounding ecosystems?
They help keep water clean, provide food and shelter for other animals, and protect our coastlines. But the Earth's oyster population has declined by around 85%. Luckily, I'm about to learn a way we can help oysters continue to help the environment. So remember, while oysters may seem small, they're actually hugely important.
Hey, Emily, how are you?
Hey, Zay, welcome to Mississippi.
Thank you. Yeah, wonderful Mississippi. What do we have here?
Well, we got some oysters here. You recognize them?
No, I don't. These are oysters. I always thought they were just single individual little things.
This is what they look like naturally.
I've been interested in marine science ever since I was a little girl. Oysters specifically, they just do so much for us that we tend to take for granted. They're a keystone species that is essential to the survival of an ecosystem.
These are actually clusters of oysters, how they form naturally on top of each other, and they build these large structures called oyster reefs.
So why is one of these tanks full of murkiness and the other one is not?
In this tank, the oysters have filtered the water. In a few hours or so, this water will eventually become clear, just like this tank. Oysters can filter 50 gallons of water in one day.
It's like a bathtub full of water per day per oyster.
Yes, oysters are considered nature's natural filters.
So there is an issue of a dwindling population of oysters in our oceans, isn't there?
Yes, there is. We have a number of issues that are causing our oyster populations to decline, but
You need help.
yes, the oysters need help. What I'm involved in is something called oyster gardening.
Oyster gardening, is that like oyster farming?
It's a similar concept. However, what we're doing is we're recruiting people to grow oyster spores to help rebuild oyster reefs.
We recruit volunteers and we provide them with materials, the cages, little baby oysters, and they grow them for about 6 months or so. And then we collect them and we plant them onto an oyster reef. And when we build up our oyster reefs, we also help rebuild the ecosystem. I actually have a young lady here today. Her name is Demi. She's here oyster gardening. Would you like to meet her?
I would love to meet an oyster gardener.
Awesome.
I'd like to be an oyster gardener.
Awesome. We'll love to teach you.
Hey, Demi.
Hi, Emily.
Hey, this is my new friend Zay. He's here to help out with us today.
When did you get involved with this?
I got into this in the 7th grade when I was 13 years old for my Girl Scout Silver Award project. I'm proud to be an oyster gardener because it's really rewarding. I just get pleasure from being able to help our environment. So I'm actually gardening right now. Do you want to learn how to do it?
I would love to. What are you actually doing? You show me what you're working with. What do we got?
Okay.
The oysters are kept in cages to protect them from predators in the ocean.
This is heavy.
When Demi started oyster gardening, she cared for 3 cages of oysters. Now, she has 9 cages that she checks on every week.
So first, we're gonna shake it. You keep going up and down with
Oh,
it.
I shake. Okay, what am I doing that for?
To help get the debris and the mud off, to help filter it better.
Okay. Okay, then what do you do? Set it up here. Ugh.
We open up the cages.
Let's do it.
And then you start to take them out.
All right, so what are we looking for?
This is the part where you get to see like what's going on with them, how big they've gotten. And once they're all grown up, I put them back into the ocean.
And what are you finding over there, Emily?
So I got a little visitor right here. It's a little hard to see. It's kind of crawling back in, but I've got a little worm that's
You're
crawling
kidding.
in that little crevice.
Ah, it's like an earthworm.
They like to make their homes within these oyster shells.
But we don't mind seeing all these critters that are on it because it's proof that they're creating a habitat for a bunch of species.
Absolutely, we want to see these interactions taking place. That tells us that this is a healthy ecosystem.
Well, you know, I came here thinking I was going to find some pearls in the oysters, but I found my pearls and they're not in the oysters at all. It's in you guys.
Well, I do enjoy like how impactful it is for the environment. It's benefiting something or someone, not only just me. So that's why I enjoy doing this.
You had a vision that this was important.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes you a visioneer.
yeah.
And I am so honored to meet you. I just want to shake your hand. Thank you. Let's get these oysters back in the water so they can breathe again.
If all the kids came together, I believe we can make a big difference.
1, 2, 3. Woo!
Coming up, a simulated ocean that can help us understand the future of our planet.
This is a time machine. We can go in the future.
The Visioneers will be right back. Did you know that 71% of our planet is covered in ocean water? So here in San Diego, they've created a simulated ocean to understand our oceans better. This simulated ocean, called SOARS, behaves just like the real ocean. It's capable of generating everything from calm waters to the extreme conditions experienced during hurricanes. All of this marine magic happens at the Scripps Institution of Oceanography at UC San Diego and was the brainchild of Dr. Kim Prather.
We did all of our studies to understand the oceans outside. They're huge and there's big changes. And so what I proposed to do was I said, okay, let's just move the ocean atmosphere system with the winds, the waves, the biology into the lab where we as scientists can control things.
And that's just what she did.
Wow, this is the only one in the world.
Only one. You ready for the show?
Yeah.
Ryan controls this part of Mother Earth.
There he is. Let's make a
want some
wave.
waves?
Yeah, I want to see some wave. Okay, level
Look behind
waves.
you. Look behind you.
What already? Oh, look at this.
I can see something going on the surface. Does
Oh,
that
yeah.
mean winds are coming in
Yeah.
stronger?
Yeah.
This is amazing. Look at that.
Really
It looks
fun.
like it's storming
That's
outside.
the spray. Look how cloudy it instantly becomes.
Right, oh wow, look at this.
This is hurricane. We
Shooting
made a
across the
hurricane.
glass.
How high is this wind here, Ryan?
We're approaching 90 miles per hour.
90 miles an hour. There's a hurricane going on outside, like literally as fast as a hurricane.
It takes an entire facility to make a simulated ocean this powerful. SOARS consists of a 118-foot-long wave tank that holds 36,000 gallons of seawater. It uses a wave generator, blowers, light tubes, and heating and cooling systems to replicate the Earth's oceans, ranging from the tropics to the North and South poles. With just a few mouse clicks, they can control waves, wind, and temperature to simulate hurricanes or even freeze the water to make sea ice.
How powerful do you feel right now, Ryan?
You're controlling the weather.
We have control of everything. We can learn things so much faster, and we need that because we need to understand how we, can actually adapt to keep our planet healthy. The ocean is helping regulate the temperature of our planet by what it releases into the air. I'm an atmospheric chemist. Aerosols are my life. This is what I care about.
When a liquid gets sprayed into the air, the tiny particles can get suspended in the atmosphere, creating an aerosol.
Then we can say, okay, what happens at this wind speed, And we just keep measuring the aerosols that come out. We measure their size, how many there are, what's inside of them. Viruses, microbes come out. This ocean is filled with life, but those particles will keep going, and they go way up, and guess what? They make clouds.
And that cools the Earth because it's a protective layer
It
from the
stops,
sun.
bounces it back, makes shade.
Why is SOARS so important, not only for scientists, but also for the planet?
This is a time capsule.
What do you mean? You can go back in time?
We can go back in time, we can remove the humans, and we can study just the ocean before humans came along and put out all this pollution.
Incredible.
And we can go in the future. For example, we always talk about carbon dioxide. So we know what the levels are in our atmosphere right now. We can say, well, what happens if humans keep putting all that CO2 in the air? And we can watch that whole cycle in the future, in the past, or right now. So by understanding sort of what's happening in here, we're basically able to understand what Mother Earth needs. And so that we can actually, make the case, like we cannot keep burning fossil fuels to this level, or we can't let the ocean warm to this temperature.
We can learn so much before we make the wrong mistakes in real time. We
Yep.
can do it here.
Absolutely.
And then learn what to do, which we can take out to the planet and do safely.
Absolutely. I am confident, based on what we've learned already, that we're going to be able to find out what it takes to make Mother Earth happy.
You truly are a Visioneer. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your space with me. All right, let's get this thing going. What else can we do here, Ryan?
Let's get some things going.
What you want to do?
I want to push the button.
You want to push the button? All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Look at all these bubbles. Woo! And the waves and the spray.
Don't go away. Visions of the future are coming up next.
There's a lot of brilliant minds working towards restoring coral reefs and saving coral reefs. We are definitely moving in the right direction, so that gives me a lot of hope, and it should give everyone at home a lot of hope.
Every time I see SOARS run, it's like the first time. I'm so excited. It's beyond my wildest dreams how well it works and how much we're learning. So I'm more optimistic than ever.
You are not limited by your age. You really don't need a special degree. You don't need special training. Demi is doing the thing here to help benefit the environment just by working with us.
Emily has been my mentor for 3 years, and I want her to know, like, thank you, and she's changed my life. I believe that I can make a difference. I believe anyone can make a difference, no matter, like, how big, how small, no matter, like, what you think of it, you're making a difference no matter what.